Hey guys, welcome back to another writing stream. Alright, I got a bunch of words written yesterday after the stream had to end. But the characters are still in the library. We are now about 3,000-ish, about 2,500 words-ish away from finishing. Chapter titles do count toward the goal, so we have 37 words. So I want to get 50, 37. You know what I mean. I'll do a nice even buffer at like 50.1. Yeah, we are going ahead and we are trying the restring thing again. Streaming to multiple channels, so we'll see how it turns out today, especially since this will be a longer-ish stream. So far, the stats look good. as far as usage and all that stuff. So that's good. And excuse me, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to writing. Oh wait, let me go ahead and introduce myself first. I do typically stream gaming content, so like today I do Mondays for Final Fantasy. If you are here for my YouTube channel, I usually try to upload something on Tuesday. Well, I typically upload something on Tuesdays that's gaming created, but I stopped that a while back because timing is concerned. And I have been uploading the events. I am way behind on the Halloween event, but I do have a video that will be uploaded for that. Just calling that out. But generally speaking, yes, I do stream Saturdays and Mondays, and a little bit on Sundays too. But for November, because I do National Novel Writing Month, I decided instead of gaming, I will be streaming my writing. And sorry, I kind of just lost my train of thought. And instead of just going ahead and just doing my writing, I do write offline, but I figure if I do it at least a little bit online, that'll make sure that I get at least a couple words written. Because, I've got an audience expecting. So this is why I'm doing it. I haven't had any particular streaming goals, but as you'll see in the title, I've set the goal to do 30 days of streaming for my writing. So we're on day 20. Which means I've been doing good so far. Not that one. And I don't normally like to stream unless I have an hour to stream, but for National Novel Writing Month, I'm giving myself grace and saying, even 10 minutes counts. So yeah. Now, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so if you are watching on YouTube, you won't, your views are great and helpful, and I am using my YouTube platform to share my love of BabyDJ, which is the local charity. But that's about it on the YouTube side of things. Any ads that you see are YouTube ended and not in any way, shape, or form controlled by me. On the Twitch side of things, though, I am monetized on Twitch, and because I can earn money through subs, bits, etc., I have decided to increase my ad frequency to every 15 minutes. Normally I try to run as few ads as possible, but for the month of November, you do see an ad every 15 minutes or so. Because all of that money goes to the charity of my choice, which is BabyDJ, a local charity that helps families basically have a Christmas. And then at the end of November, about a week pass to make sure that all of the final Twitch tallies for the revenue are completed. Then I go ahead and donate that money to the charity. What I've promised this year is to double the amount up to $50 plus add 20 of my own. So we're currently at $20 and change, so I'd be donating at least $60 to BabyDJ. And then what I do when I upload that, I don't live stream the donation because it's I get weirded out by financial stuff. So you won't be able to see that. But I will take the receipt, and I've done this in years past too. I'll upload it to my Discord and to my Instagram so that you can see that the funds have gone to where they said they would go, and they are still there in those areas if you want to go back and check, just to do your research. Completely understand donation caution. So I always encourage people to be careful with their money, and that includes being careful before you donate. So even the charity that I don't sponsor them, but to the charity that I support, then absolutely, do your research and then donate if you're called to. And I think that is enough of a opening spiel. There will be timed messages that come up throughout the chat for people who aren't currently here. And we'll see how that goes. I am multi-streaming right now, so I've got a stream going on to Twitch and a stream going on to YouTube. And I think the timer goes to both, but it could be wrong. But yeah, I think I am procrastinating enough. I don't have a short time frame today, which makes me happy, but I do know that every minute I spend chatting instead of actually typing is a word loss. So we're so close to the written word goal that we should probably just get writing. So they're still in the library. They're doing research about some encrypted that they heard the other day. My goal ultimately is to finish this scene and get them out of the library because they have a date tonight. And I feel like they've been in the library for longer than I want them to. For those who might be new to my streams for National Novel Writing Month, especially this year, the motto seems to be that's what editing is for. So that's what editing is for. You can always edit this down later. Out. Next. Oh, she demanded gently as she took the seat next to his. Do you think he didn't elaborate further? Okay, cool. I just noticed my little chatbot talking. For YouTube, I don't have my chatbot enabled, but they are, but my own channel name. It is giving me the spiel, so that's cool. Cool. All right, anyway, back to work. You can see that. Leaned in his seat. When I wrote this segment earlier today, I had something in mind for his discontent, but I don't know what it is. I just can't help but wonder if we're barking on a tree. The wrong information. Lisa asked, and I try to do the so-and-so did this, said that, did this after every statement. It's literally word bloat because I know it's not like to do too often or to read too often. I know it's one of my pet peeves when I see it like literally every other line. But this is honestly word bloat. Oh. For the word goal. And that. Said with a shake of his head. Fine. The information we're looking into should be fine for what it could lead us to. And we're trying to explain his train of thought. list hot. And but what if we got upset for nothing? Except for nothing. Repeated. Yeah. Continued to explain his thought process. What if? Excuse me. Oh boy. If that Molly person is just someone who, in the most general term possible, who let's assume the best in her. Might be paranoid that since we're not local to the area, was worried about us. She has no indicators that no concrete evidence something could happen to us. Nervous because of how close. Worst case scenario. Worse than her. Worse than her, he went on. She's just pulling an elaborate prank on the newbies. So you think she saw us and decided. What do you think? Realize. Something? Supposited. Something along those lines. Spencer stated with a with a nod. Alyssa remained silent for a minute, considering the possibility that they were really okay, at the woman's cryptic message just came around at an inconvenient time, staying at the morning dinner. Girl had apparently swath of local history around it. Oh, Alyssa and Spencer were aware of the history of the man, but necessarily history in the past, after all. If the Morning Glory Manor, this is word fluff, more dangerous in current day situations, citizens of this town would have surely said something. They wouldn't want their sleepy little neighborhood to end up in the news. Still, Alyssa had to admit curiosity. But even if those rumors were from years past and had no bearing, if those unheard whispers had no bearing on this climate, the situation, she wanted to know the history of the morning buzz, so that she wanted to be in on the little secret. Her husband's concerns weren't warranted, though. Growing up a bit. They had come here to relax, to spend their anniversary. Did this everybody finish the anniversary? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. Instead of relaxing, they were researching. Sure, they'd go out for dinner and date later. Searching something on I'm gonna rephrase this, but perform research based on something cryptic someone they didn't even know mentioned. Did seem a knee-jerk reaction. Right. Alyssa said, dropping her head down a little as she so wrapped up to do research that I didn't even consider possibility. Nothing. He reached over and grabbed her hand and gave it a tug. Helping her, yeah, that's what anything is for. Looked up at him. Softly at her. His eyes tired. Like the hour. Woohoo, we're at 4,800 or 48,000, guys. Getting closer. Alright.
Hello.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Atomjin. Welcome in. How are you doing? Over and grabbed her hand. You like to? You are. Her hand, another piece. You feel peaceful, happy, and serene in a new house. New house! Congratulations! I hope it's exactly what you want in the house. Even if you do go overboard sometimes. Melissa let out what is this? What you call it? A noise of mock annoyance. The carpets are very well laid. Nice. A good carpet is, well, I was gonna say a good carpet is very nice. But it's not wrong though, because if you are the type of person who likes to walk barefoot, a good carpet underneath your feet is like, it's like walking on clouds versus walking on like old, crusty, yucky stuff. So I'm glad that you're enjoying the carpets. Trying to play down awkward. Always just the right pace. Without pushing that without pushing back at all. His hand gave her hers. Please. How about a compromise? What do you have room? She asked. And stunned her by the automaton. Rolling up. Okay. Let's do a bit of research. You go find that book you mentioned. I'll look at some of these articles. I'll set my watch for 30 minutes. When the lunch goes off, we'll wrap up what we found. Go back to the manor to get ready for dinner. How does that sound? One day you'll leave Hello Turbo, it will be tough. I bet it will. I don't mind ads normally, and I honestly try to run as few ads as possible, except in November. November is one time of the year where I run ads on a regular basis. But since you have Turbo, that's great. I should have known from your icon. That's cool. And I still get, like, even if you don't watch the ads, I still get a little bit of Turbo revenue anyway, so I'm not complaining at all. So the house that you had before had wibbly wobbly carpets? That's weird. Sounds like a good plan. Accepted with a smile and nod. Closed her eyes during the nod. And didn't open them when the movement was done. She knew her husband looked tired. She must have been tired herself if her eyes weren't wanting to open. It didn't take much to get them open. The chairs would not sit well on them, would bend badly and ooh. That does not sound like a fun situation. I'm sorry. All good now, though? Okay, cool. I mean, now that you got the new house with the new carpets, no more sinking, so that's good. Make sure. Oh, it didn't take much. Wow, that was... Again, just the realization that she was maybe more tired than that. Go ahead and set an alarm. She did. Standing up from the chair, she didn't resist the urge to stretch. Alright, so now I think this is a good chapter end. Like how long we've been. Yeah, we've been in chapter 17 for like nearly 4,000 words. Probably the longest chapter I've done so far. Chapter 18. You're cute. Alyssa, oh, let me scroll up. Sorry. Alyssa commented as she and Spencer were back in their car driving the Morning Glory Manor. I wish I was. Said they had spent the 30 minutes doing research as promised. The book that Alyssa had looked at. Myths and legends of the Eastern Seaboard Mountains. Did not yield any results. The Morning Glory Manor was mentioned, but only as the home of the Willistons, but only as the home of the Willistons who feuded with the Fieldstones. No legendary curses or other myths reported. Just the history of the feud. She had let Spencer know about this once they had seated themselves in the car. Since finding and reading that section, since finding the book, the majority of the half hour that they agreed to hadn't been able to. What's Spencer? Since Spencer's watch, she was near Spencer. So his watch had gone off. I'll just keep running as it is and edit later, because that's what editing is for. Just his watch had gone off. She wasn't, she was just finishing section when she tapped her shoulder to indicate that it was time. She put the book back. Well, deciding to discuss their findings in their car. They put their book back. She put the book back. Book back in its place. They agreeing and returned to the car with him after making some pleasantries with Nellie on their way out. She shared with Spencer the discovery of the legend of the Fieldstone and Liston feud. And it all started like it usually did, with a land dispute. And over time, romantic entanglements made the situation even more incendiary. Apparently, it had ended without any major resolution. With each family having members that married and moved further and further away from that was being argued. Even to this day, those that own there was no climactic ending to the story, nothing salacious that came about. It just ended by both eventual owners of properties finding no love, continuing the rivalry, and allowing bygones to be bygones. Doo-doo. A friend who's going to the candy parade. Cool. Back to writing. Spencer drove as he listened to her comments on the feud. It's history. Not interjecting as she shared her findings. Finally, once she was done, he gave her. Yes. Do you want to know what I found out? Of course. Stated. Well, none of the articles I meant I saw reviewed anything about the Morning Glory Manor filler buff, rather. Down or not. Really, the articles that mentioned it, articles that were talking about people who were passing through. Thanks. Or something like that. Hey. Place. Of people who were writing about it as a potential tourist spot. As far back as the 80s. So bad. It's not too bad. Melissa commented. Are those articles were all fluff pieces? Essentially. I accept they were fun. Actually, I accept one that had the Williston family. Lined up in it, and for a photo. There was one, again from the 80s. On the property. So there was more than Glory Valley? Excuse me. Ow! Elisa asked. Gotta get that fluff in. Keeping his eyes on the road. Spencer nodded. Or at least 10 people. That picture. Answered. That's not the crazy part though. What's the crazy part? Lisa asked, furrowing her brows. The picture was too blurry to get a good sense of who was who in the picture and who. But they had a caption that listed all of the people. And where they were in the family tree. And Alyssa caught it. From up. Lori Williston was by far was the grandmother. Then, as she is now. Oh hey, look, my word count is a palindrome. 48784. Nice! Yeah, going back to this. Lori Wilson is the grandmother. He started with the major. She was listed as the owner then. I'm not sure which that picture was so blurry. Couldn't get a sense how she looked compared to now. That's not what the real kicker is, though. Not outside of all possibility, though. Okay. No, it's not. Alyssa agreed. While she didn't any entrepreneurs, she was certain people who were grandparents decades ago could still be grandparents now. Could still be grandparents now. If they were entrepreneurs, might even be less inclined to put up their properties either. And this is just my stream of consciousness coming out into the text, so it may or may not make the final edit, but we'll see. Okay. Not that owning the Morning Glory Manor made Glory an entrepreneur. Here. But you would be considered business owner. That was close enough. Oh, that's systemized. Oh, Cookie Cruise though. Spencer. Engage his wife, a Catholic. Engage. Connect. Engage her interest at it, rather. That's not real though. Her interest was in the real kicker. She is. Perking up an eyebrow. That lineup. There was a Sally and a Molly. Liston explained. You're kidding. What's the comment? Okay. I wish I was. Side with a shake. His head. It's not like they don't like each other. Alyssa shifted in her seat, pressing her back against the car. As she began talking out loud as she pondered. I almost mistook her for Sally. 49,000! Woo! We are 1,000 to go, guys. We're almost there. Doing a little dance. I know my V2 avatar can't do it, but that's fine. Alright. On up. Guys, if I hit 50,000 words, the level up fanfare will be 1 bit. So I expect y'all to use it once I change the price. I must have valid one. She was by a car. You did too. I did. Indeed. Spencer said, unironically, in this sort of haughtiness. thought she looked like her too. All the paragraphs we get the letter I right now. Excuse me. I've got the yawnies going on right now. Can do a lot to help a person's parents. Alyssa continue to ponder to herself. I wonder if maybe somewhere along the lines making one look older. Sally looked like a teenager. She was just coming out of her teenage years. Pointed out, rather. I actually thought Molly was her mother, given the visual difference. Mention it. Melissa began to churn another idea in her head and her mind. Yeah. Molly did look a lot like old enough to be her mother or her mother's older sister. I wonder if Sally in that picture isn't Sally. Let's have the excuse me. These are questions that I'm going to have to go back and research for the editing phase. Yeah, Sally. Recall Sally. Granddaughter though? Lori's ancient. Melissa's taken. She had grandchildren in the 80s. Indeed. And she'd most likely have great grandchildren. Or even great grandchildren. Even if, by some chance, Lori okay. Lori may be older. It may be one of the most or maybe the oldest people I've ever met. It's possible that by meeting one of her great or great grandchildren, the same name as her granddaughter, has her just recalling the granddaughter's relation to her rather than any other. Excuse me again. Sleepy. I had coffee today. I have fair share of caffeine. Other than any other relation. Do you think that Sally may just Molly's daughter? Another relative? Any newer generation? That is what I think. As Spencer asked, Elisa confirmed. Said at least 10 people. No, Glory's one of them. And Molly is too. That leaves 8 other people, including Sally the twin. My brain's suddenly going fuzzy. Not fuzzy like a headache, but fuzzy as I don't know where I want to go with the writing right now. It kind of was going somewhere, and then I just stopped dead. Not happy about that. 8 other people. Ellie the twin. Ooh, excuse me. Burger. When you potentially be the parent, Sally the girl we met when we checked in. Up a teensy bit for a second. That is what I think. I know we briefly touched on it earlier when we were freaking out. Oh. That's all he gave us. Yeah. Ask Sally. Suggested. Honestly, Elisa answered with a sigh. Tiredness was not play. She felt the reassuring comfort of the car back. That is definitely where it seemed. Maybe she'd take it. Put the seats back. This it might not just be some she stated Steve mentioned time. At the Morning Glory Manor. Including in the middle of a busy diner. Anyone who has a grudge gets that. That Molly could be someone who is trying to scare us. That woman's name. Used it because she might know that it's I what's the name? That's been tied to the building in the past. That's the theory. Start with that though, or that. Or it, or it. There we go. Are you tired? Glanced sideways at her again. A little bit. Oh. Before you fall asleep. We're not too far off yet. Too far away. We're also don't get comfortable. Like roads of conversation. Keep topics back. Oh man. Hi guys. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong in your theory. There we go. It's possible someone as long as nothing happens. I think we'll be safe. Other maybe the restaurants that we've gone to already, that we do already. Just enjoy the rest of the weekend while we can. $500 words to go, guys. This has been a good stream so far. Getting kind of excited. Rolling up. I am struggling a little bit though. I'm feeling a little sleepy. Sure. Patronize the restaurants that leave. While we're here, please remain silent for a while. Letting what her husband said marinate in her sleep-fogged head. And making her feel brain foggy because my brain's foggy. Haha, take that character. Just keep our heads down over here. I was gonna say it's in the palindrome, but no, not quite. Exactly. Spencer replied, I don't want any more. Strike either of us. Nuts with thoughts of what might be, of what might happen. What is this? Do it. We don't need to go into that territory again. Oh, excuse me, dang it. Yawn. Sleepy chuckles. Came from Alyssa's. I don't know how I want to do this. No more paranoia. No more paranoia. Alyssa stated more than that. I like it. With a light, sleepy chuckle. Sleeping. That's their caution term. Over and giving her a light jab on the side to wake her up. Light jab worked. Felt almost like electricity and jolted into her. She jumped straight up. Seat. No longer being cradled by the backrest. Oh, there was still sleepiness clouding her mind. Adrenaline was taking over. Jumped. The yelp, but she yelped. I have to do that. Protested. If I had let you fall asleep before we got back to the cloth rather, my Manor, Mr. explained. You would be just as mad at me for letting you fall asleep in the car. Because it would mean that, no. Once I woke you up. You up when we parked. Well, I am missing all of the words today. Holy cow. 300 letters to go. 300 words to go. Whoa, we got this. Okay. I only did that once. She protested. It was a few years ago. And she had fallen asleep during a particularly long car ride. She had tried to stay awake at the time, but failed miserably. The next thing she knew, Spencer was standing outside of her door, was trying to shake her awake. Was gently shaking her by the shoulder. She doesn't recall what exactly was said during that time, but she remembered being upset that he had woken her up. Although he was waking her up to get her inside. Get her out of the car into their home. Although she apologized for her behavior the next day after some sleep, Spencer had never allowed her to live it down. What's his name? Now, when he knew that they were close to their destination, he would ensure she would not fall asleep. He explained. Less than 90 words, guys. We're almost there. This is exciting. Oh, he explained. The shrug. That was a good stretch. Okay. Shrug. Alyssa muttered to herself. She only had herself and her terrible behavior to blame. She never was someone tolerated being woken up. The only time she allowed anything to wake her up earlier than her body allowed was the alarm clock. Decided to make it. Fortunately, she had to get up on time for work, and she wanted to put in a paycheck. Less than 20 to go, guys! I think I'm going to pause my writing while I know this ad is ongoing. I don't even know if everybody who's watching has Turbo or not or whatever, but I feel like when I hit 50,000 words, I want to be able to, everybody who's watching to be able to enjoy it. I'm gonna chill out for a moment. Alright, so I think the ad is done, so let's go ahead and continue the writing. She has to listen to herself. She had only herself and her terrible behavior. She never was someone who tolerated being early. The only time she allowed anything to wake her up earlier than her body allowed was the alarm clock. Unfortunately, never worked. Okay. Yes. There's that case. I'm gonna keep that. Come with it. Spencer. I need 2 words. Aha, I know. Teasingly replied. 50,000! Whoop whoop! Alright. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be 1 bit for everybody. Give me a second to update that though. Wait, not even a bit, just 1 point. 1 channel point. And I'm gonna go ahead. Checking that updated. Yep. Let me update the stream here too. 1 sec. Oh, I don't have space. Dang it. Alright, well, I'll just have to call it out every now and again. I do want people to go ahead and use it as often as you want. Don't feel shy. This is a celebration, y'all. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Hello.
Hey, Autumn. How's it going? Alright, so scrolling up a little bit. Oh, actually, I was at a good spot. Yes, curse that crankiness and keep up. Slide. Lancing. Not hurry. I'll try to make cute, she protested. Hair. Thanks. Be able to nap in the car. Cute. Now it was her turn to be mellowed. You're good, but am I ready? I'm ready for whatever. So yes, throw whatever you got at me. But make sure you do the level up fanfare as much as possible because I hit 50,000! Woo! Do the dance. My avatar doesn't dance, but that's fine. Alright. Alright, blind writing for 450 points. And we'll go ahead and take off my glasses. Okay, I don't even need to close my eyes. Right now my eyesight is not doing so great. Yes! All the fanfare! But right now my eyesight isn't doing so great. So I probably don't even need to close my eyes, but it'll be a good idea to do it anyway. Let's set up my timer. Watch. 5 minutes and a few seconds. Alright, so where was I? Don't try to make you cute. Okay. And now. Freakiness isn't cute. Spencer said. An affirmative nod. But the woman who sometimes gets cranky can be. You're not helping, she said flatly. You are the cutest. You're tired. You continue to tease. Oh no, I lost my train of thought. She gave up and started to shake her head. She decided halfway through the motion that that wasn't a great idea and decided to look out of the window instead. It was mostly wooded woods with the occasional back. But nothing set too far back, as if they were afraid to build further away from the familiar road. After a few moments, the forest started to become hidden behind a fence of hedges. I feel like I'm totally typing incorrectly here. I don't even know. Hedges. Melissa sat up a little bit, recognizing this hedge fence. This belonged. Was it always about this far? I hadn't noticed it on any of other trips out with Spencer. Maybe she was just distracted on those trips. Well, you're in luck, Spencer said for a moment. It was a few seconds after the edge came into Avissa's view. Well, I don't think I'm typing well at all right now, guys. Nervous chuckle, nervous chuckle. Because we're here. Get upstairs. Freshen up a bit. And if you need to nap, maybe you can take advantage of a into the Manor's gravel driveway and pulling into one of many spots from the area. Alyssa noticed that ours hadn't moved at first part yesterday. Oh no, I lost my hands are not on the keyboard right now. Yep. Wood. stifling a yawn as she unbuckled and began to step out of the car. Spencer followed suit. The good news is, sometimes I finish my train of thought. I am not finishing my thought. I'm finishing my train of thought right now. I see. All right. Oh, you've redeemed a bunch of stuff. Okay. I'm hydrating now. You decorated the bubble. The bubble's already gone. Yeah, I think that'll last for like 5 minutes. Might make it last longer though, because people don't use it too terribly often. Leveled up. Okay, I'll get those redeemed real quick. And alright, Autumn, thank you for dropping by. I hope you have yourself a great rest of your day. Let's see how terribly I did. Oh, it's not terrible. Edge. Hedge fence. If you need to nap, maybe you can. This. He began cleaning as they were walking into the manor. Sorry, something made me confused, but that's fine. That's fine. This is. Do nap. Well, we need to be at the Feldstone. 7. You don't need to go to this account. It go or something after fact. Maybe after the fact. Oh, excuse me. You mean after the fact? If you know, it's longer than. Alyssa weighed those options. She preferred a sit-down restaurant over fast food. Excuse me. Where's down that fast food? However, if she did end up sleeping in, having a long nap, so now my goal isn't necessarily word count. We are at might reconfigure my thing in a minute or overnight. I'm not sure which. I might do it in a minute. I like doing things live while I'm thinking about them, otherwise I will forget about them. Let me finish this paragraph though. Probably could be. Alright, let's have wait for this option. That's what she ended up having. Then and fast food might be. But although if she wasn't too hungry, if she wasn't too hungry, she might end up just Alright guys, I'm distracting myself way easily right now. So if she wasn't too hungry, she might end up just going ahead. She woke up, she might take Spencer's suggestion and go for the late dinner. They didn't bring any snacks. I didn't think it would be needed. Right now, she was regretting. However, did give her an idea. However, it did give her an idea. What? Oh. France. No, that's. Okay. Let's see how long I end up napping. If I go too long, let's do something after the date. I can't promise I won't get too hungry. Maybe we could stop some sort of patient. Say snacks. Spencer considered proposal, pushing the door to the Open. Walk. Alright, I'm going to not quickly, edit a few things here on the stream. So, give me a second. This is just my time. Don't care way too much. Alright. There, how does that look? Probably should have done that before, but you know. Right. New goal. Finish the story. Right, that does fit. Unfortunately, there's no no time frame for that. We're just gonna here. This is new one we'll call it the stretch goal. I believe everybody understands what a stretch goal is. I'm gonna say under. We'll say under 50%. Or about 50%. There we go. What do y'all think? Size. And yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. At the. Like, I don't know how long the story itself is actually going to be, considering chapter 16 took me on wandering tangents that I didn't expect to go on. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the days of the story. They're halfway through Saturday, so they're about 50%. So halfway through Saturday. Yeah. Anyway. I don't think there's anything between you have to go back down and then go. It said, after a moment of contemplation. I guess that means we'll make sure we give ourselves time. So you are going to get to know your voice. Spoke from the darkened behind the doorway. They should have expected her to be there, since that was the receptionist desk. Was and that's where she was yesterday. What? Still, I hadn't seen her since they left for dinner. Dinner or lunch? Lunch the night before. Or lunch the previous day. So, Lisa, at least, wasn't expecting to hear from her. She suspected Spencer's reaction was very much same reasons. Melissa turned and nodded to Sally. We decided she forced a smile. We read up a little bit on your grandmother told us a little bit about the feud. Let's see. We looked it up too. Oh yeah, there was a curse involved. They didn't look that up either. There didn't seem to be any sort of curse. Yes, I didn't. Mentioned in what we found. Safe to go. She paused. I think it was safe enough. Paused for Sally's. Yeah. That's right. Since we're at 50,000 words, I don't need to do the bloat that I've been doing. I'll keep it until editing, but moving forward, writing forward, do he said, she said after every line. The young woman with bright hair only blinked. Face like that. You've done the research. Okay. Please don't let me stop you. No, she didn't blink. She only gave a slight nod. Spencer, Melissa shared, and then turned her attention back to Sally. Suddenly, she wasn't feeling as tired she was only moments ago. What was the curse again? I honestly don't remember what cryptic information Sally gave before. And just edit it later. People who come here. There was no tone of concern in her voice, only the statements made in a very straightforward. Alright, so about 45-ish more minutes, guys. Part of me wants to like end a little early to celebrate. Oops. Tired myself. But A, it's late in the day, so I'm not about to take a nap. So it's kind of moot. And B, you know, why would I deprive you guys of my writing and my charity for of the little bit of revenue that I get for the streaming that I do? So I will keep streaming. Oh, by the way, guys, if you have access to my if you have you're a sub, you get access to the full manuscript. For reading, not editing, obviously. Just a quick little perk if you do decide to become a sub. And you will get access to all the other work in progress stuff too. Okay, most people who come here don't. Part of me is like, do I want to keep going on this one, or should I? No, I do want to keep going on this one. I should not like all the shiny things that are possibilities keep coming up. But I want to finish the story. This is fun. But Spencer began. He said that since we're only staying the weekend, there's no concern with the fact that we're visiting the farms. I don't believe so, no. Sally Sugar. Sally? This is what's up. Curiosity was getting better of her. Don't mind me asking. Oh. Again, Spencer and Elisa shared the glance. Or Elisa the young woman. Do you know someone named Mom? Sally's presence was generally neutral, with a slight variations of interested. So far, she had not interest or concern shown any fierce however, once Alyssa asked that question though, Sally stood from her seat so forcefully that the heavy chair was knocked to the ground behind her. Oh, did you get it? The blue-haired woman. In a tone that caused the couple to take a cautionary step back. There was someone in town earlier who was claiming to be related to you. Spencer covered first. Taking a step between Sally and Lisa. The jawline. Nope. Blue eyes darted between Spencer and Lisa. The young woman setting her jawline. Scowl. Alyssa. Woo! 51,000 words. Guys, don't forget you can utilize that fanfare as much as you want. I have no problem with it. Because we hit 50,000 words! Whoop, whoop. And I'm going to keep it at one cheer point for the rest of, well, NaNoWriMo, so the month. So for the next 30 days. Or, sorry, for the next 10 days. Yeah, wow. Woo! Blue eyes started between. Her blue eye. Alyssa. Almost expected Sally to begin yelling. But instead, she replied in a guttural tone that the woman was not, that was unexpected. Thanks to Tom Jin. I appreciate it. And again, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Yeah, okay. A Tom Jin? Nice. like to hear when I get things right. There is no Polly. Before either Alyssa or Spencer could ask any follow-up questions, not need to fluff. Sally stood up, actually. Her upper torso leaning nearly over nearly the full desk with her hand clamped around the edge of the far side from her. Sally stood up. Sally released the desk, stood up, gathered herself, marched out of the room toward the back hallway. Neither Alyssa or Spencer spoke up as the woman made her hasty retreat. Instead, allowing her to escape with whatever, allowing her to escape. Hey, Hedgepig! It's going good here. I hit 50,000 words today. So I hit, my daily word goal, obviously, because I was at 47,000 earlier. So I hit 50,000. I'm at actually 51,000 now. So I'm doing good. Kind of a celebratory day. Thank you. I don't have room in my title to announce it, but you can. What am I saying? What do I mean to say here? So yeah, I don't have the room in my title to announce it, but for Twitch viewers, because I'm on both Twitch and YouTube right now, you can redeem 1 channel point and do the fanfare if you want. And I have it set to 1 point. You can do it as often as you want, I believe. I don't think I have any limits for that. So yeah, if you feel like cheering, that's a good way to do it. And Alyssa or Sir, that allowing her to escape with whatever dignity, whatever poise she may have remaining after that outburst. Marched out. And I heard try to see what the woman's face looked like as she retreated. There was no, either she had no motion over her face, or either slender. Man, my typos. Seriously. Or Lisa was having a tough time seeing anything in the shadowed foyer. You're almost there too? It's crazy at this point. Last year was around... Well, there you go. Every year is different. 2 years ago, I had already won Nano by this point. I also had like a day off of work to work on it. But yeah. And, like, every year is a different roller coaster. I mean, I remember some years I gave up halfway through. But that's why I actually stream, is to make sure that I get the writing done. And it also helps, you know, like my ads are saying, BabyDJ. So yeah, I'm proud to have hit this, and I'm glad that you're almost there too. Typos are truly... I can't tell what that emote is. One sec. Fire. How do you even spell they there? Oh, they're there. So so for there, like, you just think they for they them, or they them, and then if you're looking at the possessive that belongs to them, it's the book belongs to them, it's their book. They just do the IR. Gotcha. Yes, sometimes just erasing the last couple letters and adding the next one helps. It doesn't always necessarily work like that though, because you get things like I can't think of any example words off the top of my head, but there are those that, you know, even if you erase the last couple and throw in what you would think worked, you actually would have had to go back like 3 or 4 extra, and it's kind of crazy. English, you know? English is cray-cray. Alright. Neither Alyssa nor Spencer spoke up as the one who gets you to get into the line of replacement. English should be 4 languages in a trench coat, pretending to be one. Yes, that is very true. That is true. Ow, that was my knee. Alright, so Spencer began say something, but Alyssa cut him off. Let's just go upstairs. You said the wariness suddenly came back. Not wariness, sorry, weariness. She also didn't feel like discussing Sally or anything about her concerns during the manor in the middle of the open space of the foyer where anyone from any of the floors would be able to overhear them. Get freshened up. Rest. Go ahead. I want to say quietly here too. I don't need to pad, but it's a description of how she's talking. Alrighty. Impression doesn't know how. What do you think? If Alyssa noticed that he was starting to sound tired as well. If that answers. Wordlessly, she turned and began to head stairwell. Once they were on the second floor, she looked around for Agatha. Tom, neither were visible. Floor's hallway. Suppressing down. Continued up to the third floor. On this landing, there was the... Oh shoot, what was his name? Oh, Goliath. There was the young man who was in the room across from theirs. Goliath. Who was making his way toward one of the board away from them. He was walking away from them toward his room in the opposite direction of where the stairwell was. Alyssa idly wondered if words are hard, guys. I'm getting stuck in the mud. Wondered where he was going, or if he was going to use the shower. She didn't even realize that she was staring at him. Time they were on the floor. Spencer grabbed her shoulder. Peace, you okay? Yes. Bringing her focus back to where they were. Back to the moment, and realizing that he was that Spencer was only fists away from her face. be answered weekly. I think I'm just tired. Okay. Your focus away from the walking rotund young man. Back. Yeah, just the showers. Alright, got about 20-ish more minutes, guys. Just a heads up. Alright, let's see. Did I get 2,000 words for the chapter? Even though I hit my 50,000 words, I want to keep that roll. Okay, cool. We did, so I can jump to chapter 19 now. This is my reminder to myself, I am not putting a dream sequence in here. I am not going to put a dream sequence here. I am not going to put a dream sequence here. My, like, stereotype thing to do. I'm not going to do that this time. Alright, scrolling up. I'm out of water. Out of water. Okay, chapter 19. Okay. What is my goal for this chapter? I'm thinking, guys. Give me a second. Like, I'm so out of juice, I might not even write for the next 20 minutes, but if you guys want to chat at me, I'll talk with you for 20 minutes. I will stay streaming for 20 minutes. I think 19 will be at least the start of the date night. Elisa had gotten her nap. It wasn't a long nap. Maybe only around 20 or 13 minutes. But she felt like when she had woken up, she felt re-energized. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been working on my layouts for a while. This is similar to the one that I had last year. It's a lot more simple too, I believe. But I'm actually drawing a blank on how the last one was. But anyway, but yeah, I'm always working on improving. This is probably the most simple layout I've had in a while. But it works, you know? I have elements that I could improve on if the whole restream, multi-streaming thing goes well between both Twitch and YouTube. I might make the area behind the dragon a chat box area, or I've got like ideas in my brain. But this is literally just my writing layout. My streaming layout for games is different. But Either way, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Felt re-energize. I feel like hyphen, yes. I like how it gave me the correct spelling without the hyphen, and it's like, oh yeah, you need to add a hyphen here. At least I had gotten her nap. It wasn't a long nap. It was only about 30 minutes. She had enough energy to do what she needed. She felt like she had enough energy to...
Hello.
Oh! Hi, Real Salties. How's it going? How long that was going on 20 minutes. We're running out of energy. Take on the night's activities and then some. As she pushed herself out of the bed, wondered where this energy had been earlier in the day. You know, she had enough energy to get what she needed done, completed. She hated the drained feeling she had once it had been completed. It would be nice to have completed it without feeling so drained. But I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Salties. How's your writing going? I never got around to asking what story you're writing this year. So the story that I'm writing is so the short version of it is, it's intended, although I don't think it's quite going that direction. It started off with the intention of being kind of like a supernatural thriller type thing. Sort of like a novel version of Hotel California. Where basically this couple is in this manor and they realize this isn't what they quite expected and they want to leave. They're currently in the F around portion where they haven't yet quite found out. So that's why I say the story is only maybe about 50% complete. Yeah, it's it's an interesting concept. I don't know if I'm going to pull that off, but it's going well. For a story concept that I came up with maybe about a week prior to Nano, it's going a lot better than I expected it to, so that's cool. So, yeah. I'm excited for the fact that it's definitely coming along better than I thought it would. I don't remember you sharing your story. What are you writing this year? Or was it a continuation of last year's? And now I want bread. It would be nice to have completed it without feeling so drained. Sometimes these things just happen. With Leon, she pushed herself out of the bed. She hadn't even bothered to change into sleeping gown. was about to change from her day clothes into the day clothes. Which Spencer had promised would be casual. Had promised would be casual anyway. Casual anyway. So, wearing the day clothes a little longer while she napped wasn't a concern. This here's a contract marriage with secrets and murder. The more I write, the less I like it, but I'm probably going to change the order of what happens when after Nano. Completely understand that. I had a story that I started off with a few years back, feeling so strongly about it. Like, I didn't have an outline, but I had like the basic concept in my head, and I was just going to go with it. And then I feel like I don't know exactly what happened. I think I didn't have a great background for the elements of the story, and it, like, the more I wrote, like at this point of the year, I think I was just done with it. I'm pretty sure I hit the word count goal, but it was I haven't looked back at the story since. Contract marriage with secrets and murder. That's always fun. Like an intrigue novel. Cool. Speaking of Spencer, where was he? I didn't expect him to nap with her, so she wasn't surprised, and he wasn't in bed when she woke up. What's up? Okay. He wasn't on the couch reading his book, drawing on his phone either. Oh, yeah. Trying to conserve. She glanced toward their washroom. The door was open. And although she didn't hear any sounds coming from it, decided to see if maybe he was hiding. She called out tentatively, inching toward the Open door. There was no reply. Oops. I reached the threshold of the washroom door. Then at the mirror that was... Oh yeah, I forgot there's a giant mirror opposite the bed. Anyway, moving on. No reply. She reached the threshold of the washroom. At the door, opened into. It only reflected her own image. Of course, it wasn't at an angle, so it's not like it would have shown her, who would be sitting on the toilet off to the side. She shook her head. Silly notion. And then decided to stick her head into the room itself. See if her husband had maybe fallen asleep. But he was definitely not in that room. Either. Called again. Retrieving the washroom. I don't know why I'm using washroom so often and not like bathroom, because it's the same thing, right? But whatever. By the way, I have an ad starting short. The FYI, guys. But yeah, I don't know why I'm using washroom instead of bathroom. All the same. I'll be just keeping up with this for now, and you know, go back to that catchphrase. That's what editing is for. Woo! Anyway, where was I? Washroom. Her eyes caught herself in the other mirror. Bedroom mirror. And she realized, after glancing, which she had forgotten about even on her initial sweep of the bedroom. She took a moment to look into the mirror and sweep. She took a moment to look into the mirror and what was I saying? A moment to look into the mirror and inspect the reflection for her husband. He was not found here either. He was not found here either. Makes sense. If he was hiding to try to spook her, would have. Both irritation and worry began to... That was the word. And to seep into her psyche. irritated that he had left her alone while she was sleeping. And she had no clue where he was. That's where the worry kicked in. She had no idea where he was. So no idea if something had happened to him while she was sleeping. It was a silly idea, of course. He was an adult. He was an adult. Just like she was. They could both take care of themselves. Still, until she saw him again, she had no idea. Still, she knew that her worry over him, over what might have happened, would be overwhelming. Maybe he left a note. Maybe he left a note. The thought quelled any the thought quelled any irritation or worry that was beginning to freeze her in fear, and she began to check the couch and table for anything that he might have left behind. There was nothing. Oh, that's a good sentence to end off the day on. There was nothing. But it is 6:30. Dinner's not quite ready yet, but I'll go ask the husband if he wants any help in the kitchen. For those who are, or actually we have an ad currently in progress on Twitch, so I'm going to wait for a moment for that to finish before I give up my wrap up. Got about 5 seconds left, so I can wait 5 seconds. I hope y'all who have come in have enjoyed the stream so far. For those on YouTube, I don't get monetized, so like the views or whatever don't count. You know, if you guys get ads or whatever, that doesn't go to me at all, so I can't donate any of that money to charity. But those who are on Twitch, whether you see the ads or not, you do help me out because those ads do go to charity, and then a little bit of the turbo funds go to charity too, I believe. I'm not sure how that breaks out, but thank you. And thank you, Oto Jim, that I'm glad that you enjoyed the stream, and thank you for the follow, Lori Mandel. I appreciate it. I regret that I am about to turn off the stream for the night, but now you'll know when I go live tomorrow, because I will literally be doing the rest of this month as a play-by-ear stream, so it'll probably be around this time is when I'll be starting and stopping. Shortest streams, about 30-ish minutes to an hour for today. For Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday will probably be a morning stream, and Friday, well, we'll see. You're all good. Just want to follow for next time. I appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, so I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. Since we just ran an ad on Twitch, I'm not going to run any other ads. I'm going to go ahead and just flip it to the offline mode, let it sit for a couple moments while people go ahead and trickle out. And then I will go ahead and cut the stream after that. So thank you all so much for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.